Mike McDaniel, fourth season as the Dolphins head coach, and of course a star wide receiver with the Yale Bulldogs. Official height and weight, Coach?
5'9" and undisclosed.
Because at Yale you were 5'9", 175, but that
Huh?
feels like that might have been inflated a little bit.
It was actually closer to my true weight at that time. I was inflated. Um, my body wasn't really built for that weight, but I was taking a lot of supplements at the time.
Okay. Legal supplements, of course. Right?
Of course, above brow, of course.
Were you Julian Edelman before Julian Edelman?
Yes. End statement. Yeah, no, I was limited to a inside receiver route tree because of lack of linear speed,
Okay.
and I was quicker than fast, as they'd say,
Yeah.
and I did a lot of coaching while playing, if you know what I mean.
How about 40-yard dash if you raced Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, he would get me.
He would?
Yeah, I had to think about it.
Okay. Is there anybody closer to him speed-wise?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys that are that are fast, particularly on our team. But I think what makes his speed unique is the acceleration. He gets top speed very quick. He's almost top speed on the third step of a route when he's motioning. So the quickness and speed is hard to match. But there's several guys on the team that will, with absolute certainty, say that they're faster than him, even though they don't have a time as fast as his.
But if you're calling plays knowing that he's so quick at like does it change if you're calling something, let's say it's 3rd and 7, you just want to get him the ball because of that acceleration. Not he has
Well,
to go out 7 or 8 yards.
no, quite literally, one of the positives of being in the same offensive system for my entire career. I came in t 2005, learning Mike Shanahan's and have stayed with it. Is realistically the what the offense is a product of people's skill sets. So we do a lot of timing motion because we can utilize Tyreek and Waddle and et cetera at that their unique skill sets. So pretty much, uh, all player skill sets for us now in the system we've kind of adapted to them and try to use their best skills most frequently.
When did that change? It felt like when quarterbacks were drafted, certainly in my era, that you had to adapt to that coach and his philosophy, where it feels like Cam Newton when he came in, it felt like Carolina says, hey, we're going to cater to your needs. I don't know if you remember since you were there with Shanahan in '05, did you see something, a seismic shift where you're kind of adapting your audience or your offense to that quarterback you're taking?
Yeah, I think you just hit on something super interesting because the whole tree underneath Kyle Shanahan learned that in 2012 when we had a rookie RG3 at quarterback and we're going to jump into the game of zone read and realistically we completely adapted. I was an offensive assistant. Matt LaFleur was the quarterback coach. Sean McVay was the tight ends coach. Kyle Shanahan was the offense coordinator. Raheem Morris was the defense or secondary coach. Bobby Sloak was outside linebackers coach. All these people firsthand, um, where we had our offense from what we ran in Houston and extension Denver, and then retooled it in Washington, and then for me personally and and Kyle, we got fired, and then went to Cleveland and had a job and didn't want to get fired, so we tried to adapt to those players, and then we did the same thing when we went to Atlanta. So it's really in the course of the journey, early on, we had the opportunity to, directly, evolve the offense to cater to players' needs, and I've kind of seen everything through that lens since.
Most talented quarterback you've ever been around?
Talented at what? The
Quarterbacking.
quarterbacking, I would say, uh, you know, Matt Ryan was up there, but I think Tua is probably the most talented quarterback. The most talented uh, speed threat was probably Robert Griffin III. So he was fast, and before the defense schematically caught up to us, he was Rookie of the Year for a reason. Matt Ryan played the game in a unique way that really changed a lot of stuff that we do in the dropback game based upon how good he was. And then there was uh, one of the best quarterbacks at play action pass that's super underrated was Matt Schaub. He was really good at utilizing Andre Johnson's speed and being able to avoid sacks while getting explosives.
Talking to Mike McDaniel, fourth season as the Dolphins head coach. You start out, you got Indy at Indy, then host New England at Buffalo, and then host New York. How much pressure do you feel?
Huh. I always think that's funny because I think I would have to be delusional to not, expect. I think you take a job like this and you're working in the NFL, and for me, I'm preparing to have this job, and then I take the job, and I'm very much aware of the black and white reality of wins and losses, and how you're able to sustain the job and keep the job and evolve the program is all based on the nuts and bolts of winning and losing games. So I think everything that I do to prepare has always been to kind of be my best self in moments of pressure. And yeah, I mean, I know it exists, but I don't feel it because it's kind of ingrained or attached to what I understand this job to be.
How much do you take home with you?
You know, uh, the gift of my one and only daughter has really helped create some boundaries for myself. I carry stuff through the car ride home, but when I get home, especially when you have a short, compressed time to be something that's a pillar of importance in who you are as a person, which is being a father for me. I get the gift of being able to get home, see her face, engage her, and try to leave it at work because you have to be balanced in life to have your edge at performance really for whatever you're doing. So I think earlier in my career I struggled to do that, but my daughter's really helped me out with that one.
When you were growing up and you were getting those autographs when you go to the Broncos camp, do you still have those autographs?
I do in a trunk somewhere.
What are
Yeah.
some of your favorite autographs that you got when you were a kid?
Um, I had a I had a one sleeve of cards, like in the plastic, but it was a sleeve and a binder that I kept all the autographs. And it was probably the John Elway page. I had about seven of them because I was a relentless, obsessed, um, daily uh, uh, visitor at Denver Broncos training camp. So those were probably my favorite. Or, the Robert Del Pino one that led to uh, me meeting my stepdad. That was probably the two best ones that got me connected with Mike Shanahan in the first place.
Okay, so explain that because wasn't it an assistant coach? Like, explain how your mom met your stepdad.
Well, I mean, it's the normal nuclear family trajectory of a child introducing um, uh, mo mother and stepfather Of course. The
Happens all the time.
Yeah, so I was getting an autograph. Uh, well, I would go to Denver Bronco training camp, um, and get autographs daily. I had a Charlotte Hornets fitted loud purple and teal hat, and it was noticeable. So I got Robert Del Pino's autograph earlier in the day. I wanted to get another one. As an only child, I guess I just wanted more, so I put the hat down. Got the autograph, came back, the hat was gone. I was about 9 at the time, so I was crying. And a member of the Broncos was uh, interested in why I was freaking out. I told him about the hat. He took down the measurements. A couple days later, he saw me again at training camp because I was automatic at Lawrence Hall at the time. And he gave me a hat with a price tag on it. He went out to the Greeley Mall and bought me a hat. And so then I thought he was worthy of meeting my mother. So I introduced them, and they got married. I moved to Denver, and was as a result, he was a assistant video guy for the Broncos, and I got to at age 14, I was a ball boy through high school, and really got in the NFL door, being able to be around the guys and stuff from before I could drive.
Well, speaking of love, your reaction to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift getting engaged was what?
Oh, you just told me. I didn't know.
Wait, how?
So that's my reaction.
How do you not know?
Well, you keep yourself from anything that's multimedia, and then you make yourself a terrible conversation when people bring up pop culture. And you do that over time, and then you don't know anything that I'm pumped to hear about it now, I guess.
I'm sure.
I think there's layers to my reaction. I'm hoping it's a love-based relationship, and good for them. Finally they're not. Finally they're doing it the old-fashioned way. Where people shouldn't really enter into any escapades unless they're married. So.
Now, if one of your guys gets engaged, do you expect to be invited to the wedding?
No, I'm the boss. So I appreciate if I am, but my expectation is that nobody wants to hang out with me ever that I'm the boss of.
Are you a buzzkill?
No, it's just the nature of boss. The nature of boss is like, all right, this isn't work. Why do I feel like it's work? Oh, because there's the guy that may or may not be judging me, So I don't get my feelings hurt. I don't have high expectations for that. Just understanding the role and responsibility.
Always great to catch up with you. Thanks for joining us. Good luck starting the season.
Thank you very much.
That's Mike McDaniel, 4th season as the Dolphins head coach. They were 8-9 last year, and they open up at Indy, host New England, at Buffalo, and host New York. I never know with his delivery if he's being serious. Yes, Todd?
He's hilarious. I don't think he has any idea. I don't know if it's just the deadpan, the way he says what he's saying, but we were thoroughly entertained by all of that over here.
Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome.